you work with most people in the biz. Have you met sort of, well, every hero has their heroes. Have you met people out there that you sort of have idolised and disappointed you in any way? Just people you look up to, and you meet them and they go, oh, no, not him.
I don't know whether anyone's disappointed me because I'm not sure I had that expectation of them anyway. But following on from Robert Plant, his daughter, when I was at Radio 1, was quite a fan, and Robert admitted to me one day that her new kitten was called Mike Reed. He had to go in at night and call it in the garden. Not the cats answered their name. He said it's a little embarrassing going into the garden and shouting your name into the dark, which was great. Also, the doc talking about cream cakes reminded me of a story of putting the wrong bands on with the wrong bands. When Heinz was big and he had the peroxide hair and the white suit, they rather mistakenly put him on tour, I think, with Jerry Lee Lewis and Gene Vincent. Now, how wrong can you get that? So Heinz went out in his peroxide hair and his white-tied suit and started singing Just Like Eddie. And, of course, all the rockers turned up with pre-opened cans of beans. So Heinz, halfway through the first number, was drenched before he could even get to the chorus. So that was, putting the wrong people on with the wrong people. But no, I mean, I don't know. You meet with some characters. I mean, I worked with Keith Chegwin for 6 years, and Keith was terrific. He was so big. Hey, how are you doing? Hey, and he was constantly up. And I think at that time he used to do that knocking on the door, where he'd say to someone at GMT or whatever it was, he'd go, "Hey, you've won 10 grand. How do you feel?" Well, the answer is pretty good, actually. And he said he met some people. He knocked on one door because it was live and the cameras are there. And he knocked. He said, "Hey, you've won £10,000." What's it? "Oh, thanks very much. Oh, I can't believe it." She said, "It's a good job. It's not live. I don't want no one to know I've been in jail." And another one was a bloke who started jumping up, punching the air, climbing the walls. He couldn't believe it. He was leaping about in acrobatic style. He was so excited. And he stopped and he said, "It won't affect me disability payments, will it?" Brilliant.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
So I don't know. I mean, I think most people are fine. I think we all do when we're interviewing people. It's the monosyllabic people that are the worst, that you can't get much out of. Some people, Steve, you poke with a stick and they're away.
Yeah.
Like us lot. But some people, you're struggling 20 questions in a minute. And it's like, oh, my goodness, where am I going with this?
Oh, absolutely. And quite a lot of them, I don't know about you, Mike, but they wanted to trip me up. I mean, Paul Weller was noted for it. He decided to trip me up, Fergal Sharkey too. They just wanted to ruin the interview for no apparent reason. I'm sure you've had that you just feel that they're going to, no matter what, they're going to make it really hard work for you.
Yeah, I mean, some people just do it accidentally. Like I remember on Saturday Superstar, I'd been out the night before with Captain Sensible. Always a wise move on a Saturday night.
No.
And he came in to present an award. He staggered on, climbed on a table, and collapsed in slow motion in front of all the kids who thought he was just tired. And we dragged him behind some scenery to sleep it off for 3 hours. He was absolutely ratted. And Chris Bellinger, the editor, he said, "It's your fault. It's your fault. You were out with him last night." I said, I went home. I don't know what he did after that. And then towards the end of the show, because it was 3.5 hours long, he managed to rouse himself, stagger back on, and repeat the performance, climbed on a table and fell off again. We still had him back, though. I mean, some people were clearly, even on a Saturday morning, clearly done something the night before and through the night. And Chris used to say, "Are you sure you can handle them?" And I said, "No, they'll be fine." But they came in belligerent and buoyant form, let's say, having had a night on something.
Yeah, I know that I was on Breakfast Time and Mick Hucknall came in. Him and his drummer had been out on the booze or whatever they had, and they'd had a curry late night. And he came in and fell asleep and started farting on the sofa live. And I just gave up. The smell was revolting. And he just sat there and farted throughout the interview, and we had to cart him off. Which was bloody. Talking of drink, John Coghlan, I know you like a beer. I know you do. But Quo days, were they drunken days? Would you get pissed before you went on stage, or would you wait till afterwards, or drink during the gig?
I think we drunk during the gig. There was a few before. But when, interesting, when we did was it 13 or 14 reunion tours, Rick Parfitt said to me, Francis put this law down, a rule or something. I said, what the bloody hell was that? He said, no drinking before we play. And he was one of the days he used to drink, like we all did. And we would drink on stage, have loads of it after. But we didn't. Do you know what? It was, he's got a bottle of wine there.
I have.
Yeah, we drank a bit, but we drank quite a bit as well at the same time. But the reunion tour, no, we weren't drinking at all. I didn't mind because I had a few after. But going back to that thing when you said strange things happening, an idiot, I remember one came to mind when Mike was talking, was the days of when we changed the image. It's got, after Ice in the Sun and all that stuff, and in their silly suits and all that. Then Bob Young said, look, grow your hair long, put a t-shirt on, get some jeans on and plimsolls, reinvent yourselves. Anyway, that seemed to work within my chair game. Anyway, much later, this gig came on. It was somewhere, a college or a university. We decided not to be introduced. We just walk on and be cool. I think Fleetwood Mac did it. Someone said, you got to do that. Just don't get announced. It's just walk on, be cool, all that peace and love and all that. And this guy came in, he said, hello, are you Bob Young? And Bob said, yeah, he's Simon tour manager. He said, oh, great. He said, you'll be on in 10 minutes and I'll walk out and introduce you. He said, no, could you not introduce us? Because we decided just to walk on, give it that, and guitars will start playing. Oh, no, we can't do that. No, because they all the cool kids here expect me to walk on, announce the band. Anyway, it got into an argument, right? And so I'll be going, we're going to get on or what? Anyway, we said, all right, if that's all you want, you just announce the band. Okay, you go and do it. Otherwise, we're going to be arguing all night, right? Anyway, side of the stage, blimey, it was full of wonga, joints and stuff. They're all smoking all out of it. And this guy, the DJ, he walked on. There's a massive round of applause. Great, Steve. Great. Brilliant. We can't wait for this act that's coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you've been waiting for weeks to get this band on. Yeah. We can't wait to hear them tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, they're here. Who fell over? We walked on, played, hey, get him off. It was the most funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. He forgot who we were. What? Anyway.
Good hippie times. Just talking about those days, John, back in the 60s, you and I have talked about it before, and I know Mike and Clive be aware of this. Weirdly, the drummers back then, when you saw Top of the Pops, the drummers were at the fore. I mean, Kenny Jones, I think, Kenny, yourself definitely, and others I'm trying to think of. Mike would know more than me, but drummers were at the start in front of camera. I mean,
that's right.
That seemed very strange. It really didn't seem strange then. It does now. Did you feel in any way that I mean, drummers are meant to be people who hang around with rock bands. Did you not feel encroached by the camera?
Well, it was strange because you used to being at centre stage behind the kit, behind the band, and that would be fine. You could, work to each other, and guitarists come over, give you the, all that. And but it was really weird being out front. It all felt totally wrong. Actually, didn't like it at all. But they made us do it. So what can you do?